So welcome back to the Uncommons channel. My name is Blandine, and today we have special guests. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. Go ahead, y'all.
You already know it's your girl Kayana. Follow me on Instagram, Kayana, Kay, 3 A's, NAH. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, also at Kayana. Happy to be here.
Hello, Stacey will be here, and my Instagram is at there's only one of me. Follow me, you guys.
Wow, nice. My name is Joshed, and I'm a photographer and an entrepreneur and everything in between.
Wow.
You can follow me at BK_1 HUNNE. Don't ask me about it. That's just what it was. And then that's it for me.
Okay, so today's topic is the Haitian Church.
Okay, so I'll say for my home church, it was always like where they would say that, you know, they care about the youth and they want the youth to be involved, but in order for the youth to be involved, first you need to have like a personal relationship with them.
That's okay.
And I know, like, I'm so empathetic when it comes to pastors, because I know it's a lot for them, you know, having to lead the church, having to be in leadership. It's a lot. So I know sometimes it's hard for pastors to really like take the time to really like, you know, get to know the youth. But I feel like also those that are supposed to be leadership with the youth that's under the pastor, sometimes I feel like they can put a little bit more effort in. And so everything that I went through when I was a youth, it has helped me to become a better youth leader at my church. So with my youth, I feel like I have a great relationship with them. We talk every day. They come to me about any and everything. They tell me their business, things that I probably shouldn't even know, but they tell me anyways. So I feel like once you build that trust with the youth and then you really genuinely show them that you care about them, then you can focus on leading them spiritually, because no matter what, they're still humans before they are a Christian. So there are certain things that they are going through that you just have to be very understanding of it. And I feel like a lot of leaders forget that they were once youth. Like they swear like they were saved their whole life, that they did no wrong, but they just want to pretend like, oh, you know, I got Jesus, so my life has been perfect. But if only they would humble themselves and tell the youth what they went through, you know, the problems that they had, how they overcame it, and show that they're not perfect, I feel like the youth would be able to trust them more.
You literally said everything. Oh, wow. Okay, do you guys believe in the saying for churches where they say you can come in as you are for a Haitian church? Like,
I have a lot to say, so I'm going to go first. But good. Sorry.
Like, you can come in pants, jeans. For female, you can wear pants. You don't have to wear skirts or dresses. You can wear pants. You can wear open-toe shoes, like flats, on a Sunday morning. No heels. For guys, dreads.
I've never heard of, this is my first time hearing about ripped jeans. I've never heard about ripped jeans. You can't wear ripped jeans.
I feel like it's jeans in general. Like, what's the problem with wearing jeans in general to a church? Like, it's the building. It's like you shouldn't focus on the outside per se as much. You should be more worried about their inside. Are they like spiritually there? And if they're not, what can you do to bring them there? Not really their outfit, because you don't know what if that was their last pair of clothes they put on before they came to a church. So.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I was just ready.
She's ready. Like, y'all speak first.
Look at when I was
You ready to say me?
No.
Before she goes, she can go.
Okay.
Pinky is ready.
So the way I see it, when they say come as you are, I feel like they focus more on the internal, which I understand because that's important. Come as you are with your heart. But they forget that we also are physical beings, that not everybody is able to dress a certain way. They'll say, oh, anybody can come to the church, but if it's a homeless drunk, it's a problem. Or they're gonna try to kick them out, make them feel less than. They're gonna stare. I feel like Haitian people have no problem staring at somebody who looks like an outsider, and they wonder why people don't want to come to church. Because my mentor, he is an American pastor, and he has had, you know, homeless people come in drunk. He lets them sleep in the church because he says that what better way to have someone sleep in the presence of God versus saying, oh, why is that kid sleeping? Now, it's one thing to be on your phone, be distracted, but just to sleep in God's presence, it's a beautiful thing. So I feel like they say come as you are, but don't be too like, so the way I see it, it's like Haitians will want you to be real, but once you're actually real, they're like, that's too real, you know? So it's like, you can't say come as you are, but if someone, you know, comes in a certain way, not out of disrespect, but because they lack something, it's an issue. So also, like, when it comes to like hairstyles, I feel like it's more of like a culture thing where they just assume that if you have locks, especially as a male, because females can have locks, it's not a problem. Males have locks on, you know, they're vagabond. Oh, go ahead.
Wait, I'm sorry to cut you off. You said it's okay for females to have locks?
Yes.
Yeah, I've actually never heard of that.
For me, I feel like it's okay for females to have locks because if a woman with locks walk into the church, I wish someone would say something to me. But if it's a guy, they really just look at them like, oh, that's a vagabond. Oh, he must be in a gang. Or he's doing drugs. Or he's drinking. Or they call them a rasta. Or they're those people. And I'm just like, it's crazy because even like once I got locked and it's like I see how people look at me differently, people treat me differently, and I'm like, this must be how it feels like when you're like a male that has locks. Like you feel like you're no longer like Haitian anymore. You feel like you're a part of like the culture that does have locks, but it's.
I feel like it has to do a lot with their culture back in Haiti. It's like they bring it into the church. It's like, I don't know. That's how I feel.
No, you're right. The culture does play a huge part on it.
I feel like when it comes to the Bible, you shouldn't put too much culture in it because the Bible already has its own culture. You're bringing your outside culture into it. Then it's like, are you really preaching the Bible or are you preaching your culture?
Right.
I feel like it's a mixture of both though, but Haitians just exaggerate with the dress code, the hairstyle, and everything. Like it does say in the Bible, like certain clothes that female cannot wear.
Well, yeah.
But with them, they just switched everything completely. Like if you wear pants to a church, they look at you like you have 7 heads. Like, what are you wearing?
I just wish they just judged less overall because
I feel like if they did do that, then.
Gosh.
And it all goes back to the youth. Like, they judge a lot of the youth because some of the youth, that's how they come into the church.
Right.
So if you're judging them, how do you expect them to open up to you? How do you expect them to keep coming back to the church? You know, they already know. As soon as I walk in, everybody's head's gonna turn and look at me because I have locks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So.
And here's the thing also, one of my mentors told me, like, it's one thing when you're already a Christian and you use the term come as you are as, oh, I can do whatever I want to because I can come as I am. The point of come as you are is like intended for you to change something. So it's one thing if you come to church and, you know, you were smoking and drinking before, you just dress inappropriately, but then you continue that lifestyle after you come to Christ. That's one thing, but that's not good because Christ comes to change our hearts, to change our motives, to change our minds. So when you come as you are, it's the intent to change something. So I feel like a lot of people, they use that as an excuse to continue to live in sin versus really changing their ways. Yeah, because some people really do get it mixed up. And I feel like also with the young people, they'll say the same thing. But even my boys, some of them have locks, some of them have earrings, but I'm very overprotective over them. That's why I say another thing, like leadership is so important. Whoever is in charge of the youth, they need to be willing to stick up for their youth, no matter what. Even like even if my youth are wrong in some cases, I will fight for them no matter what. So they need to feel protected that someone is really with them, that they won't fold just because the adults are telling them one thing. I don't play about my kids, like about anything. So I make sure that I'm not only a role model, but for them to know that they're not by themselves and that they don't have to fight their battles alone when it comes to the church as a whole.
Yeah. When it comes time for like when they actually do like a youth thing for like the youth, it's always the same message. This is why I don't even go to like the church things anymore when it comes to like youth stuff. It's always the same message because it's always going to be about you're supposed to honor your parents, listen to your parents. It's always going to be stuff like I don't know, dress code, fornication, stuff like that. Like,
don't do drugs. Drugs is bad for you, and all that stuff.
The other day I had a dream. My son went to jail. I'm here to tell you, I'm in jail. I just hate that it's like targeted. It's targeted towards the youth, but it's never like one day we was on the prayer line, and my dad, I think somebody was praying about something. He's like, the only thing I'm hearing is, we're praying for the youth. We don't want them to be in jail. We don't want them to do drugs. We don't want this or that. But like, why can't you pray about like them having a business or something like something positive? But now I feel like that's how you view me. You view me as a lab or some type of gang member for some reason. And I don't think I can show those other than what I wear or how my hair is.
I feel like go ahead, Stacey.
I was gonna say, I don't think they do it on purpose in a way. Like, it does get irritating, but as like parents and being immigrants in this country, they see stuff happen, so they don't want their own kids, because each Haitian parent in the church, they think of all of us as their own, because of our friendship and stuff like that. So they always, especially like with my mom, like if she's praying for me, she's also praying for you guys, for the other girls, the other boys in the church, and in the same prayer she's doing for me, she's doing it for them. So in that way, so I feel like they're just trying to like, they do want you to have a business, they do want you to be successful, but to them it's like, well, if you don't go to jail and I see you, like not in jail, then I can do that prayer that you're gonna be, like successful and stuff like that. So sometimes it's just like, it might depend on like their level, not only spiritually, but like with school and stuff like that, to know, okay, so far these kids have been doing good, so let's just change the prayer topic to like not them, like going to jail, doing drugs, getting high. Let's just be like, okay, let's just say, okay, let's be thankful that they're not doing those things, and now let's just have another
I never hear that.
Yeah,
I never hear that.
I'm thankful.
I've only heard that at my church when I pray.
Yeah. when it's you're doing that.
Yeah. I never hear.
Like I'm thankful, because I had arguments with my dad, and I'm like, you should be thankful I'm not out here like.
That's what I be telling my friends. Like, do you not know what these females out here are doing?
It makes me not want to have a
it's like
like when you know who you are, like how sneaky you can be because your parents don't like trust you as much, or they're not as thankful. It's like, you just don't know what I could be doing,
but I'm not.
Right?
It's like how do you even tell them that? Like, I don't know, man.
Honestly, I feel like they're very stuck in their ways, and they can pray for your future, like when it comes to school and business or making money, but it's on their terms, not really on your terms. So it's like when they pray for stuff like that, I'm like, you don't really know what you're praying for, because if I want to like for example, quit school and start a business, you're not gonna like that, because it's legally la legal. Like, so I feel like they can be very close-minded and sometimes hypocritical, because you can't tell me that you're so quick to tell me what's wrong with the youth, but as a church as a whole, like with the adults, y'all be sinning too. It's not just us. Like, yeah, you guys may not smoke, yeah, you guys may not drink, but a lot of y'all have separate lifestyles outside of church that we don't even know about, but you guys hide it so well by how you dress, by how you have your shut-in spells to your Bible every Sunday. You're faithful to come in a Bible study, you give your tithes. Right, what? Y'all have a family in every county. Like, come on now. Come on now. That WhatsApp be blowing up during service, and you can't wait to go back home to your second family. But it's okay though. No, I'm just joking, but I'm not.
No.
Yeah, I feel like they're so focused on pointing the finger, but it's like, even then, like, you have to check yourself as a parent, check yourself as a leader. Like, if you're over here claiming that the youth are like just a whole bunch of vagabonds, it's like, what's wrong with you as a parent? What's wrong with you as a leader? Because if they can't confide in you about things like that, then how are they supposed to get better and do better? You know, so when I first got to my church, they expected me to like turn their children's lives around, and I'm like, those aren't my kids. I did not raise them up until this point. You expect me to have them do a whole 360? That's not my job. Yes, I can help them along the way, but as a parent, as a leader, you have to be able to do your part. Because kids see everything. You know, we know our parents. Yes, they can be in ministry, but when they're at home, they can be two different people. Like, we know how they are. So, like, especially as a youth, whenever they see like leaders being hypocrites, it steers them away from the church a lot. So I always tell people, like, especially me as a leader, I have to be careful about what I say, what I do, because it will have an impact on my youth. I'll share a quick story that's not funny, but it's funny. So a while back, I forgot who I was with, but we were like just chilling, having a good time with a couple of my friends, and then we got lit to the point where I was twerking on the Snap, and they posted it, and all my youth were texting me like, Kiki, what are you doing? I was like, first off, y'all was supposed to save the video and not post it. So I had to think to myself, like, I have to be careful about what I do as a leader, because you don't want to steer them in the wrong direction thinking that it's okay. So I feel like the same thing goes for adults and parents. Like, what your kids see you do in private, it will have an effect on them spiritually. That story probably did not need to be told, but it's just to lighten up the mood, because I'm always transparent. I know who I am, so it doesn't affect me. But that was just an example.
I feel like that sucks. That part of being in ministry sucks, because you're not
so
allowed
much
to
pressure.
You're not allowed to be human. Like my dad. Like, this is why I don't want to be a pastor or anything, because people judge my dad so much to the point where like they're coming to him and saying like, your kids are not done in school. Your kids are still in school. And look at my kids. He's a lawyer.
What is that?
He's a doctor.
But that has.
But it has. I mean, but like it all comes to like it's also like church stuff. It's people from the church that are judging us, telling us like we have to be like a perfect family.
You're human. At the end of the day, you're human.
That's why I feel like it's trash. Like, you can twerk out a gram, do what you gotta do. You had a good time. It's just
we're not twerking on the gram.
But I'm saying, like,
but I totally get what you mean.
You should be allowed to be human. Like, you're gonna have a slip up here and there, but you're human.
I feel like it's definitely to a certain extent, because you know, it's not like I don't care so much about my image to other people, but it's really about how God views me. At the same time, when you are in ministry, you are held to a higher standard. So it's like, let's say if I wasn't in ministry and I'm twerking on Instagram or Snap, that's one thing. It's like, okay, it doesn't really matter. But if you're like a leader in ministry, you gotta be very careful, because nobody watches Christians more than Christians and non-believers. So you just gotta be careful. And also when it comes to like, you know, your dad being judged, you know, for how you guys are, your dad need to flip some tables like Jesus did. Because I'm not taking that, especially with my youth group. They'll be so quick to tell me what's wrong with them. Like, listen, don't let me put you in your place. Like, because nobody's perfect. And if Christ loves us the way he says he does, there's no reason why an outsider, you know, looking from the outside would tell me how to run my family or how to run my youth. So they need to humble themselves.
It's even the people, like he said, the people in the church. They're the one trying to tell you how to run your family. Same thing with my dad, because my dad's a pastor. And the people at my church, they even try to come for doing my nails. My nails. Like, not even acrylics, like my actual nails, putting colors. They went to my mom to tell her, oh, you know, she shouldn't be doing that as a church member and all that stuff. And I'm just like, what does this have to do with my spiritual connection with God? Like, that has nothing to do with it. And
I also feel like misery loves company, because they grew up that way. So it's like, that's all that they know. So they're always gonna like, pass it down to their kids on how they were raised. But I feel like that's why we, in our generation, we're going through so much, because we're supposed to break those generational curses and those generational expectations, so that when we have our kids, it's going to be so different, because we know better. We know what we've been through. We don't want our kids to go through the same thing, because I feel like with the Haitians, they're so stuck in their ways that they don't see that what they've been doing has never worked.
Exactly.
But they're like, oh, that's all I know, so I'm gonna just keep doing it and pray to God that something's gonna happen.
And then like when you go to them to tell them, how you feel, or this isn't how it's supposed to be, they get so defensive.
Very defensive.
And it's like, I'm just trying, like, you want me to come to you to tell you my point of view, but when I do, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's like, you gotta meet me halfway, and it makes it harder for you to even want to go to your leaders to tell them how you feel.
Right, and I don't see why we are viewed as rebels when we state our opinions. Like, why is it that we have to be silent, especially when it comes to the honor your father and mother thing? I understand that, but there are times it needs to be mutual. Like, as a parent, they're always saying, oh, you gotta respect me, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, but it's not always returned. And I feel like, yes, I'm your child, I understand that. Yes, I'm below you, okay, great. But like, if I'm giving you respect, if I'm honoring you, show that back to me. Doesn't mean I need to be silent and not speak up when you're doing wrong, because you're so quick to tell me when I'm doing wrong. But as a parent, you have to allow your child to tell you when you're wrong, so that you can better yourself as a parent. Not because we hate you, but because we love and care about you. So
you gotta say it to us. We don't hate you. We love you.
We love you. But they won't always see it that way, because I feel like, when you have like a lot of pride, you think that people that are helping you are really attacking you, when that's not really what it is. So I don't know. I feel like nothing's ever gonna change with the Haitian Church, because they've been doing this forever. But I'm just happy that, like, the generation that we're in, we're not in that mindset. So we're able to break free from it. We don't have to live the lifestyle that our parents live, but we can.
And they in the Haitian Church wonder why so many Haitian kids, as soon as they graduate from high school, they be so quick to go to university so far away,
of course,
and go to an American church. They're like, oh, why are you leaving? You're supposed to be the one to take over the church and all that stuff. But why would they want to take over a church that makes them feel like an outsider?
And also, you can't tell me that I'm the church of tomorrow if you've never equipped me to be the church of tomorrow. Because I understand, having these little Bible studies, cool, whatever. Oh my God, leading service, oh my God, awesome. But like, you're not equipping me like to the point where you're like teaching me, how to be a leader, how to be, how to become a pastor if that's what God wants me to be. Also, you can't put the title pastor on everybody just because your son likes to go to church. That does not make him a future pastor. Like, if that's not what he was called to be, that's not what he was called to be. So I feel like we need to stop forcing these expectations of ministry on our kids. Just because our kids go to church, that does not mean that they're supposed to be a leader in ministry. Now, it doesn't change the fact that we are Christians. We are also held to a high standard. So we could be Christians outside of the church, because the church is us as a people. So we have to be the church outside. Doesn't matter, because I don't want to preach to a bunch of Christians. I want to be able to live a life that's pleasing to Christ in the actual world, so that people can ask me, why am I so happy? Why am I so giving? Why am I so joyful? Because of Jesus. So if we could just get out of that mindset of only focusing on leadership in the church itself, and focusing on like being just like Christ on outside of the world, it'd be so different. Because our kids, I feel like they're meant for so much more, and Haitians put us in a box of being like a lawyer, politician, a nurse, being in the medical field, all that. I understand.
But there's so much more to that.
So much more.
And it goes back to when you try to tell them that, it's a problem, because they already have it in their mind what it is they want you to be.
It's like, if you wanted me to be all this, why isn't it working for you? I'm not about
Oh my God!
I'm sorry. No. I'm not doing it. Like, they just so quick. Like, you telling me to do something that didn't work for you, like I'm supposed to just be Jesus and fix everything.
They want to ruin their life.
Do you? Let me ask you. Okay, this has nothing to do with this. But y'all ever notice how, like, when it comes to like body image, Haitians are so quick to tell you that you gain weight. Meanwhile, they're wearing like 3 waist trainers when they go to church, or 3 Gans. Like you're telling me about myself, but you're not looking at yourself. You point a finger, there's me pointing right back at you. So like, humble yourself. I'm sorry, I've been pointing at it for a long time. I'm happy we have a platform that we can talk about stuff like this, but it's just the truth though. I feel like, and if we could talk about this on another segment, body image is so important because I feel like a lot of kids are just ruined by that. Like their insecurity is just like their self-esteem is so low because of that.
At my church, he stopped coming to the church completely because everybody was calling him fat.
Oh, crazy.
And his parents was like also calling him fat.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. So that's
the whole thing with the judgment.
Yeah, the judgment.
Like,
but in their heads, they're probably thinking, oh, si we're little fat,
you're gonna lose it,
and then you're gonna win.
Yeah.
So if I go fat,
Get out of here.
But
Get out of here, man.
like over toughening up your skin.
no,
It's
no.
trash.
I'll be like, "Mommy, you pregnant? Oh, you not? Oh, I know. We might go there." Is that encouraging? Like,
That does it.
come on now. Like, that's why I say, like, they're so quick to tell other people what to do. Meanwhile, they're struggling. Like, you can't tell me to lose weight if you're not in shape.
And then
You know what I'm
sometimes they
saying?
don't even know. Somebody could be going through something and then
Yeah.
they lose weight and they say, oh, opa, man, shit, God.
Right.
Like, you can't just go to somebody and just say that. Like, at least ask, like, baby girl, or like, my son, how are you doing? Like, are you going, like, try to talk to the person first instead of just
Right.
going straight to it, like, oh, you're losing weight, you're gaining weight, because you don't know what the person is going through. Right?
That's true. But we will talk about that topic. Stay tuned.
People just mind their own business at this point. Don't even ask me how.
The thing about Haitian Church is a worship service, and I know y'all can relate to that.
For sure.
We lit, especially on New Year's.
Yeah, the special programs.
Special
Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's a whole mood right there. It's not even knocking to see if anyone's in there doing something important. Let's just. Oh. Services are lit. Honestly, like their transitions with the songs.
Oh my god.
You just know, like, they're like, Amen, Amen, melody, melody. He's lit. Like, I just be ready.
But, okay, so devil's advocate. Can that also be culture that makes it the good part of?
I think so.
It is the culture.
It is. It's the culture. It's definitely the
It
culture.
is, for sure.
Because for anybody else, like for an outsider that doesn't know like much about the Haitian church, they would say everything is trash.
Facts.
Mm.
Or they can just be also judgmental, because sometimes like you be hearing that compa during service, you be like, hold up, I thought we was in church.
Yeah.
What is lit though?
Yeah.
Right, but if other people were to hear it, like you said, they might not like it. They be like, is this a club? But
Yeah.
for us, it's just like, that's just our culture. So I think it does vary, and it varies. That's it, really. Whoever judges, that's fine. I mean, if you don't like the church, you definitely don't have to come back. But if you love your church, I'm sorry that, no, okay, I'm not gonna apologize. I'm not apologizing for that. But for real, like, if you don't like the church service, just don't come back. But don't just keep going just to have something to say about it, you know? So I feel like you gotta find the right church for you, and I feel like God will make a way. God will literally lead you to the right church, because God led me to the church that I'm at right now. I'm thankful for my home church, because that's where I learned everything, you know? So just find what works for you, find what works for your spiritual growth. Yeah, so I was gonna add that you don't have to stay in a church if you're not being spiritually fed or if you're not spiritually growing, because I feel like there's a misconception that, oh, if I raised you in this church, you have to stay at this church, as like a loyalty thing. And I understand that, but I feel like it's all for show. Or I've seen parents where they say that, oh, you have to be baptized in that church because you grew up there. That's not the case, because I had one of my closest friends, she didn't get baptized at her church and her parents bashed her for it. But it's like, are you really caring about her spiritual life, or is it the image of her being raised there and you want other people to be like, oh, you know, she grew up there, look at her getting baptized there? Like, they're so quick to focus on everybody else's opinions, and I feel like that's why they're so judgmental, because they judge us because they're being judged too.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's watching them as parents and to see how they're raising their kids. So
feel like people should stay in their lane. Like, before you judge this family, judge your own family first.
Yeah,
like, is your family straight before you go and look at other people's kids and go back to their parents and tell them, oh, so and so was on their phone at church. Well, what does that matter? What was your kids doing at church? Were they even inside the building? I was inside the building.
Right.
So that's why some Haitian parents like are strict with their kids, like especially like with my mom personally. I feel like I've been blessed with like a Haitian but non-Haitian mother, because like she wants me to grow spiritually, but most Haitian parents, they want the glory not from God, but from the pastor in that church, or like other parents to be like, oh, like your daughter dresses nice, you know, in a conservative way, or she was not one of the girls or the boys like who are using their phones at the church, blah blah. They want to hear that from other people, but not focus on like, okay, what did you learn from the message today? Like, were you paying attention? Because sometimes I'm using my phone to write notes from what the pastor is talking about. And somebody else might see me and they're like, oh, you know, Sarah's daughter was on her phone texting, blah blah. But if you're minding your business, listening to the message, you know.
I remember in church, when I was younger, they'll say close your eyes, we're gonna pray, and then I peek a little bit. I be seeing these adults staring at the youth. I'm like, why are y'all praying? You didn't hear them say pray? I just be trying to peek a little bit. And I'm like, why are y'all looking at me? I see you looking at me. Why are you praying? It's a mess. A whole mess. Like, I can't. But honestly, Haitian churches they're fun and they're funny at the same time. It's like, I feel like once again it's just a culture thing more than it is like the church itself. I feel like it really is the culture.
Culture controls 99% of the Haitian church.
Like, I love after conferences that they be having pate and soda.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Yes. I come back the second time saying I'm getting some from my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it.
It's better when you're the pastor guest at the church for the conference, because they automatically make the plate for you. And you don't have to wait in the line. I love going with my dad just for that. When he goes to church to preach, and they already have the plate, I'll be like, I'm getting it for my dad.
That's crazy.
Basically, you just went with him for that food. You just.
I know it's bad, but it's true. The food be good.
Lord Jesus.
Be good.
Oh, I want to add that, well, this is not a good thing because I know I'm supposed to end on a good note, but an example of how like they can be hypocritical is that they'll say that you have to be baptized to be a part of the ministry, but there's a lot of favoritism because I've seen people do, have leadership, whether it's like in ministry specifically or doing sound, playing instruments. So let's say that you got to be baptized, but because of the rank that their parents have in the church, they let them slide on a couple of things. So favoritism, I feel like, is what breaks the church, because I've seen people leave churches because of their issue with favoritism, because you can't tell me that I gotta be baptized to do this, meanwhile the person that's doing that is not baptized, so you gotta be very careful with that, for sure. For sure.
I mean, there is one small good note that we can end on. I feel like even though we're talking all this mess, there are some churches, like some Haitian churches that are trying
to
grow
Absolutely.
into like being better for the youth. Even though it's not like where it should be, you should acknowledge that there is some type of
we give them props, because that's the thing. I feel like as long as you're trying to do better, because there's no such thing as a perfect church. We're all imperfect. We're all sinners just trying to make it, trying to be like Christ, and it's not easy. But I give props to all the youth leaders, all their sacrifices, for all the pastors that take all that mess from people, these expectations. Like, it's not easy, and especially like when you're a pastor, sometimes you have to choose the church over your family, and it's so hard. And it's like, pastors go through it too. They just assume that just because you're a pastor that shows up every time, that you don't need time for yourself, or that you're not struggling with things too. So I give all y'all props, because it's not easy. I know with my kids, they make my blood pressure go up every time they speak to me, but I wouldn't change it for the world, but it's to me, it's very, very rewarding spiritually, and it helps you to grow as an individual aside from Christ. So,
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna close on that note. Let us know what you think in the comments box, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and go follow everybody's Instagram page, including mine. I'm gonna put the Instagram pages in the comments box as well, so y'all better go follow. Until next time, bye.
Toot toot!
Bye.